What's up, everybody? My name's Eddie, and today we are working on the Kettlebell Turkish Get Up and Get Down. Like the name says, the only piece of equipment you'll need is one kettlebell. But before we even start with using the kettlebell, we're gonna just use our bodies, all right? A Turkish Get Up and Get Down is a pretty complex movement. It's about 6 moves in one. And so we're just gonna start using our fist, right? So we're gonna just take with our right hand a nice tight fist, and we're gonna bring our arm directly straight over our shoulder. Now this is key because once we have a kettlebell in our hands, if our arm isn't straight, the bell's gonna kind of move around a lot, right? And the other important thing is keeping your eyes on the bell at all times. Right now we're just using our fist, so eye on the fist. But what this does is it helps prevent the bell from moving around. As long as your eyes are on it, you should be able to keep it straight. So a lot of shoulder mobility is required in order to just keep this arm straight up right over the shoulder. All right, so I want you to keep your gaze up towards the bell, and I'm just gonna count through each move. Feel free to follow along or just watch, whatever you feel like doing. But when our right arm is up, we take a step back with our left leg. So we're gonna go into a reverse lunge, right, as we lower down onto our knee. That's number 1. Eyes are still up on the bell. The left hand comes down to the ground. That's the second move. Third move, leg kicks through. That's 3. Hips come down, 4. Forearm down, 5. All the way down onto our back. That's 6. Now from here, we're gonna get into the Turkish Get Up. So the Get Up starts with coming up onto our forearm. Now, right now, since we don't have any weight in our hands, it's really easy to just sit up right into this position. But once we have 20 kilograms in our arms or 16 kilograms in our hands, it's gonna be a lot harder. So I want you to try and practice this move before we get the weight in our hands. And so in order to get up to the forearm, you wanna roll onto the side of your body. So right now we're gonna roll onto the left side of our body, keeping that fist right over our shoulder, and then push up with our left arm onto our left forearm. All right, so let's practice that real quick. So you roll onto the left side of the body and use that left arm to push up to the left forearm. That's number 1. Move number 2, up to the left hand. 3, hips up. 4, leg comes through. 5, into the kneeling position. 6, driving up to stand. Okay, so you can see how hard it is just without a bell in your hand to keep that arm right over the shoulder, right? I mean, when we're in this position, we wanna just come here, but we have to use our back muscles, a bit of our shoulder, even some of our core to keep that arm stacked right over the shoulder. So just keep that in mind as we go through these, practice moves before we incorporate the bell. So let's try that again on the right side. So we're here, arms straight up, completely stacked, eyes on the prize, as they say, right? Keeping the eyes on the bell. Left leg goes back into that reverse lunge. 1, left hand comes down. 2, left leg comes through. 3, hips come down. 4, forearm comes down. That's 5, all the way down onto our back. That's 6. And now we're gonna reverse. Come all the way up to that forearm, rolling up. 1, to the hand. 2, hips up. 3, leg comes through. 4, kneeling position is 5, driving up. That's 6. Boom, boom. All right, let's practice that with the left arm up. Okay, so eyes on the prize, arm completely stacked straight over the shoulder. Now our right leg goes back first. So right leg, reverse lunge down to the knee, that's 1. Right hand comes down. 2, leg goes through. 3, hips down. 4, forearm down. 5, back down, that's 6. And just like we did on the left side, we're gonna roll onto the right. Forearm, 1, hand. 2, hips. 3, leg. 4, knee. 5, drive up to stand. That's 6. Okay, so now you have an idea of the order of each move, have an idea of what it takes to get through a Turkish get up and get down. And it's a big full body movement. So, I mean, I'm a little bit out of breath just by doing that without any weight in my hands. So no need to impress anybody. We're here by ourselves. And I'm only gonna be using a 16 kilogram kettlebell for this. I would suggest, if you still are getting the hang of things, maybe just use like a shoe or you know, a bottle of water or a cell phone or something, just to get used to having something in your hands before moving up to a kettlebell. If you have a light kettlebell, by all means go ahead and grab it. And if you feel comfortable going a little heavier, go for it. So let's get our kettlebells. Now, if you watched our tutorial on how to do a clean, you'll be a little bit ahead of the game, because what we have to do in order to get into our rack position and our overhead position is do a clean and overhead press. So if you haven't checked out the clean tutorial, pause the video here and go check that out. But if you have, you're ready to go. So you know that we got to drive the legs up, clean, bring the bell to our chest, and then we're going to go overhead and keep that bell over that right shoulder to get started. All right, so let's get ready. Bell is right between the feet. We're nice and low. We're gonna drive the legs up and into a rack position in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Clean. Good. And now we're gonna press overhead. All right, so make sure that that bell is right over the shoulder, because the second it comes over, it gets a lot harder on the shoulder and you're gonna just tip over. So lock that wrist out, nothing like this, right? You don't wanna have your wrist pulled back. You wanna really have your fist pointing straight up towards the ceiling, bell right over the shoulder, and you're good to go. So, right arm up, left leg goes back. Nice and slow, ooh, balance, good. Knee comes down, keeping the eye on the prize. Left hand comes down. Left foot, left leg goes through. Hips come down, forearm down, torso all the way down. Good. Now, since we have that weight, you're gonna really feel how much harder it is to get up to that forearm. So we're gonna roll over and push up onto that forearm. That's 1 hand, 2, hips up, 3, leg comes through, 4, up onto the knee, 5, drive up to stand. That's 6. Boom. Bell comes down. Let's hit that left side. All right, we're gonna start with another clean in 3, 2, 1. Drive the bell up, rack position, press up overhead. Make sure everything's in alignment. All right, we're good to go. Eye on the prize, right leg goes back. 1, right hand down. 2, leg through. 3, hips down. 4, forearm down. 5, torso. 6, rolling up to the right side of the body on the right forearm. 1, up onto the hand. 2, hips up. 3, leg through. 4, knee. 5, up to stand. 6. Nice, y'all. Okay, so a lot of shoulder stability and shoulder mobility is required to do this. You don't really think the two go hand in hand, but with this exercise, you need to be stable yet mobile. All right, so if you're feeling like there's a bit of resistance preventing you from keeping that bell right over the shoulder, I'd suggest maybe going a little lighter, or what I like to do sometimes with my clients is take my cell phone, have them make a fist, and have them balance that cell phone on their fist. So that way if they, aren't completely stacked over their shoulder, the cell phone falls. It's a good cell phone, so it doesn't break. All right, I know you're concerned. All right, so let's go. We got a few minutes left. Let's go for a few rounds of some Turkish get-ups and get-downs now that you're all experts, okay? Here we go. Let's start with the bell in the right hand. We're gonna do our clean press, and we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna count anymore, so you just follow along with me, and we're gonna make it a nice fluid movement, okay? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, drive up. Overhead press. All right, and let's get started. Left leg goes back. Hand comes down. Leg comes through. Hips down. Forearm down. torso down. See how smooth that was? Nice, y'all. Let's come up. Forearm, hand, hips, leg, knee, stand. All right, we're gonna switch it. Left side, 3, 2, 1, drive it up. Press it up. Step it back. Hand comes down. Right leg goes through. Hips down, forearm down, torso down. Right back into it. Roll up. Hand, hips, leg, knee, stand. Good. Let's do another one on the right side in 3, 2, 1. Drive it up. Good. Keep breathing. All right, just follow along with me and you're good to go. Woo, make it nice and smooth. Keep the eyes on the prize. No need to look around. The most important thing is right over your head. And you don't want to drop it. Nice. Here we go. Last one on the left side in 3, 2, 1. Drive it up. Overhead. Step it back. Nice work, y'all. Y'all are doing great. Fluidity. Like Bruce Lee says, be like water. Here we go. Hips up. Leg through. Onto that knee. Drive up to stand. Woo! See how that gets your heart rate up? Isn't that crazy, just standing up and sitting down? Who'd have thought? All right, so let's take a little breather. We got a few minutes left, so we're gonna do another round, 2 on each side. The only way we get better at this is practice, right? So I find that usually the second and third sets are my best sets because my hips are loose, my shoulders are warmed up, and I can really get deep into each movement. All right, I'm feeling warm, I'm dripping, I'm a sweater. It's a good sign of good health though, so we're good. All right, so we're gonna start over. This time, how about we start with the get up? Let's do that. All right, so the way we do that, we start on our back. And let's keep the bell, since we're gonna start on the right side, let's keep it over by our right hand. Okay, so the way we kind of get into this position on our backs, you want to grab the bell with both hands and bring it almost like you're doing a rack while you're laying down, and then with both hands guide it right over your chest, and don't let go until you feel like you're stable in that right shoulder. All right, so bell is in the right hand, right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Okay, so what do we do in order to get up onto that forearm? We roll over to the left side and press up. Here we go. We're getting right into it. Fluidity, nice and smooth. Eyes on the prize. And then we're all the way up, come right back down. No need to drop that bell into that rack position. Forearm all the way onto the back, both hands, bring it down to the chest and roll and over to the side. Now, rather than taking a big heavy bell and tugging it over to the other side, right over your chest where you might drop it on yourself, go ahead and take the bell with both hands and just drag it on the floor. That's a lot easier. All right, and now we're gonna do the same thing, but on the left side. So get nice and tight to the bell. You can start on your side, whatever, roll over, bring it right onto your chest, bend that left knee, straighten that right leg, take both hands, guide the bell right over the chest so you feel like you have a good grip, stable shoulder, and we're gonna roll onto that right forearm. Ooh, good. Up. Leg comes through. Kneeling, all the way up to stand, right into that reverse lunge. Hand comes down, leg goes through, hips down, forearm, torso. Good. Put the bell down. We're gonna do one more on the other side, and we're gonna come back to the left side, all right? So bend that right knee. Bell comes right over the chest. Here we go. Hips up. The higher you get those hips, the easier it's gonna be to pull that leg through. Ooh, good. all the way down. Both hands on the bell. Be safe rather than sorry. Drag the bell all the way back around. Here we go, into the left hand, left knee's bent, right leg straight, roll up. Keep breathing. You need that oxygen. It is vital to life. Here we go, all the way up to stand. Come back down. Stay focused. Keep those eyes on the bell. All the way down. And woo! Nice work, y'all. Way to go. You crushed it. Yeah, I mean, getting up and standing all the way up and sitting all the way back down, it's tough, even when you're a young buck like me. All right? Thank you so much for coming to class. Yeah, so like I was saying before, it's a lot of movements in one exercise. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to get through an exercise like this, a lot of stability and mobility. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do in order to prepare your body for this. If you ever see me in the gym, feel free to come up and ask me some questions, and I'd gladly coach you through it. All right? Thanks again so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.